Good morning, welcome to Frugalfull and Slow Cooker Sundays. My name's Lara and it's great that you're here today on my wee frugal lifestyle and budgeting channel. I hope you enjoy today's cooking. So today's cooking is all about using up, or I should say not just using up, but based all around stuff that I bought in the supermarket yesterday. All yellow sticker items. So these are going to be two super budget recipes, super high value for money recipes. I'll see if I can work out the price per meal based on the yellow sticker prices and show you at the end. But I'm delighted with these bargains, and I love it when there are yellow sticker bargains but they go well together so that it's possible to make a really delicious meal just from yellow sticker items. It doesn't happen to me that often. Maybe if I put more time and thought and I was more strategic, I could probably do it more often. Quite often yellow sticker will be part of a meal, but for it to actually be pretty much the whole content of a meal is exciting. So first of all, there are 2 bags. This is what's going in. There are 2 bags of these diced root vegetables, 17 pence a bag. So it contains carrot and swede, I think. Yes, carrots and swede. So this is another bag, the same, only 17p. When you buy these type of pre-chopped root things reduced, use them as soon as you can. Like, I should have really done this yesterday, but I was too tired. So this morning I've got up and I'm going to just do it straight away so I don't miss my window. I think I'll still be okay, but just in the nick of time. But the earlier the better with these things, especially because they're at the kind of turning point. Well, once it's cooked and everything, it'll be fine. But I wouldn't want to leave it much later, is what I'm saying. So next, there is a whole bag of onions, and they are 32p instead of 53. Amazing. So I'll put probably either 3 very small or 2 bigger onions. I think I'll put 3 small into this because it's going to make a big pot. And then the sweet potatoes are a great deal. They should be 95 and they're down to 58p. So I did use one to make sweet potato wedges yesterday as part of dinner because I was hungry. I was like hungrier than usual, but it's a good way to get a bit of extra carbs without it being too fattening and still nutritious, because sweet potatoes are really nutrient packed. So 58p for all those sweet potatoes is just brilliant. So I'm going to use these as the main ingredients for my soup. I'm just going to make a chunky root soup, and you could add curry powder if you want, but I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to make it more of a kind of straightforward soup, and then if I feel like it needs any curry powder later on, I could add some, but I'd rather have it non-curry because I feel like it's easy to just do that, but not then appreciate the flavours of all the lovely veggies so much. So for a wee change, I'm going to do it without any curry powder. I'm going to put 1.5 stock cubes rather than 2 because I'm trying to cut down on salt intake. So it's going to have 1.5 stock cubes. You could use any type, any flavour of stock cube for that. I've got some garlic, of course. 2 to 3 cloves is my level. I think I'll put the granules away because I think there'll be enough garlic in those cloves. I would just mince them in, but my mincer is in with the dishes, so I'm going to just finely chop those. So that's it. And boiled water. That's all that has to go in. So I think it'll either be 2 or 3 cups of boiled water. Where's that amazing auntie cup? That's not there. Right, I'll use the bees. No, I won't. I'll use this one. This is kind of like a standard sized mug. So I'll probably put 3 of these standard size mugs in. I'll report back to you on how much water is used later on. Oh, and also it will have seasoning as well, season to taste, and also herbs. I think because it has some carrot in it, I'll put a bit of coriander, because carrot and coriander go well together. Coriander. So that's everything that's going into the soup. The other thing that I'm going to use some of for a recipe, a kind of easy, lazy breakfast on the go recipe, will involve some of these apples. 41p for 6 apples, I think that is amazing. They should have been 67. Oh, and this should have been, according to this, it should have been 28, and it's down to 17. I don't know if these prices were partly reduced already, or if that's their normal full price. I'm not quite sure about that. I think when I'm doing a bit number crunching and I add some bits of info to the videos, I'll maybe have a look on the app and see if I can find out the initial price, so I can work out how much has been saved and what the reduced cost per meal is. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to start preparing this, get these chopped. Oh, and also, let's see, how many will I put? I think I'll put 3 sweet potatoes and 3 with the very small onions, because they give a lot of flavour. Right, so I'm going to get chopping, get things loaded up in here, get the slow cooker on, and then we can get on to the other recipe. Hope you enjoy them. Okay, right, everything is chopped. Oh, apart from the garlic. Well, I'll do that in a second. So, ready. I have peeled the sweet potatoes, by the way, just to say. I wouldn't necessarily, but because they're past their best. And yeah, these are absolutely fine. Just being absolutely sure. One. So I hope you have had a great weekend, and I hope you've had decent weather. It's May, so in this part of the world it's supposed to be good weather, but there has definitely been a lot of rain in Scotland. Oh no, I think I may have too much in here. Look at all of these veggies. Oh, it's so packed with beautiful goodness in the veggies, but it may be a bit on the full side. I reckon it's worth a try. I'll see. I should be able to get away with it, hopefully, because as the hot water cooks everything, it should reduce down. So I reckon it'll just fit and no more. Should get, I reckon there'll be at least 4 portions out of this. But once I know that, I can figure out the cost per meal. Excluding the spices, not spices, the herbs, the seasoning and the stock cubes and the garlic. But they're just kind of, like store cupboard staples to me. So yeah, it doesn't include those, but those are things that don't have to be replaced all the time anyway. So for the kind of main ingredients, I can do an approx price per meal. Right, I'll just crumble in the stock cubes. I love these kind of meals because I can just set it and forget it, smell the lovely soup cooking during the day while I'm busy doing other things, have a nice hot lunch or dinner or whatever time I have it to look forward to. Know that it can be frozen well and last for quite a few meals, and it freezes well, doing kind of soup type things. Where's the towel? Oh, it's here. Yeah, there's loads of advantages to it. So yeah, there's loads of advantages to it. I'm looking in the wrong place. I was looking over at the square instead of here. Oh dear. You'd think I'd learned by now. Yeah, so for anybody that's fairly new to the channel, and I really appreciate you watching, and everybody's subscription, everyone who everyone who has subscribed and everyone who leaves likes and comments and enjoys the videos. It's great. You know, it means a lot to know that I'm doing something that can be helpful or useful or enjoyable for people, and it's lovely getting to know people through the channel when people leave comments, because I was thinking about the spices that I would usually put into a soup like this, and it made me laugh because Perilous Rainbow, I hope I've got that right, had left me a comment recently about you know, like that way when you just go to pour in some spice and sort of do it by sight, and then it can be, sometimes can judge just by looking, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. So I was just laughing to myself thinking about that. But yeah, it's such a lovely thing to be able to do. I really enjoy it, and I really love to be able to come up with ideas and share them, and then get that feedback from you watching. So thank you so much. But what I was going to say is, and here we go, I'm just going to pour, and oh yeah, I will once I loosen it. Oh, that's handy. There's a kind of butter knife type thing here that will reach down very well. I've got to just loosen it up a bit. I think and I hope I've got another coriander in the cupboard there. There we go. Hopefully that was an okay judgment. I do that quite a lot. I just throw things in and I don't kind of measure them. So usually it works out okay, but not always. What I was going to say, what I'd started saying, was that for anybody who's fairly new to the channel, back at the beginning, so when I started it was the beginning of December, which is unbelievable really. So already it's been 5 months. Where has the time gone? And a lot's happened in that time, because well, the big thing has been that I broke my arm in multiple places, which has just been a total horror. But I am recovering, but it's slow. So that's been the big thing. But it's a lot's been happening because I've just had to try and sort of change how I live around that for the time being. But it's one of these things, and it's I'm just grateful it wasn't any worse, because the ice was so treacherous. I could have broken my neck or injured my head, potentially. It could have been way more serious, and it doesn't bear thinking about. So I just feel like I was very lucky that it wasn't any worse, and I'm just really grateful. Okay, so we're going to try 3 cups of hot water. I'll let you know the volume, as I say, and I will let you know the length of time. I reckon it will be 2 to 3 hours. I will confirm later in the video. There may not be enough in the kettle. I'm going to boil another, so there'll be a third going into this as well. Right, I will be back shortly and we can start the apple recipe next. These are no bake 3-ingredient apple breakfast cookies. So all they contain is some nut butter, some oats and some apples, and I think I am going to put a bit of cinnamon, but you don't have to. Yum! So first I need to chop these, and I'm going to, so this is going to go in the air fryer. I say no bake, but I do want to cook the apples a little bit, so they're going to go in the air fryer just for short bursts, just to cook them off slightly, but being very careful not to burn them. So I'll chop them into wee pieces and put them a bit at a time in here. Cook little batches a bit at a time for about kind of 20 to 30 seconds at a time on probably the medium setting, so about 150. Being really careful, as I say, not for them not to burn. And then after that, I'll show you what comes next. Thank you so much, Mum, for my apple cora. It was my first time using this. Mum got me this recently, and it's great. It did the job beautifully. So thank you so much. Hi, right, that's me back. There are 2 cups of chopped apple. They've all been air fried at about 150 for 3 minutes per batch. So I just kept checking every 30 seconds or so to make sure they weren't burning. So there's 2 cups of chopped apples, there's 3 tablespoons of nut butter, and there are going to be 3 tablespoons of oats. And I'll probably put a teaspoon of the cinnamon. So that's the plan. So I'm going to put half this mix in here. And I'm going to just mash everything together with a fork. So this could take a wee while. I'll be back soon. We have a Bella just here. Next, let's put in a teaspoon. A teaspoon. Right. Half a teaspoon. So, oops. At the moment I can't, what am I trying to say? Oh, cheeky face. At the moment I can't mash things as well as normal because it's sore. So ideally this would be mashed together a lot better than what I've just done, but hey ho, one of these things can't be helped. So I'll continue mixing everything, but also now need a fresh tablespoon. There we go. So one. I might put an extra half a tablespoon, so bring it up to 2 tablespoons in each sample, but we'll see. Right, I'll go and mix this. Then I'm going to turn them into, I'll take a ball and squish them into cookies and put them on this big dish, big platter thing lined with the greaseproof paper. And then they'll go in the fridge for an hour-ish, and then we can do a taste test. So this is what they look like. I don't know how crumbly they could end up being, but because usually I'd squish them a lot more into shape, but I'm a bit sore, so arm is a bit sore. So they're looser than they would normally be. So we will see. I'm going to stick them in the I was about to say the oven. I'm going to stick them in the fridge for an hour to set, and then let's try them out. The good thing is as well, they can be easily frozen, so that's a handy thing, but I don't think they're going to last that long. So the ingredients I've used have made 8 cookies, which is pretty good. Somebody's very interested, aren't you? Oh, she's so sweet. She likes watching the action in the kitchen, don't you, Bella? It's ready at long last. I am so hungry and ready for this. So it had 3 hours on high and it used 3 cups of water. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It smells really good. Can't wait to eat it. I'm going to show you the cookies as well now. So here are the cookies. They have chilled for about an hour and a half. So I'll bring them out and we can do a double taste test. Here we go, let's try. So the soup is very vegetable packed, which is good, especially with the sweet potato. Then it has carbs and it makes it more filling, and it means it's a meal in itself, which is great for eating on a budget and also for minimizing dishes. So let's have a taste. Oh, it's too hot just now. It tastes lovely. I'm gonna taste it again once it's cooled down for a couple of minutes. Right, okay, what we can do in the meantime, I like the flavours, but I've just burnt my tongue, ouch. So these are pretty soft, but they are softer than ordinary cookies. But I think if I could have squished them down into shape better, it would have helped. But let's taste them. I'm very happy with the flavour. And they do hold together. When they're chilled, it holds them together. As I say, if I was making this kind of thing, usually I will squish things into a ball and then sort of flatten it more into a cookie shape if I want it that way. But they bind together with the nut butter and they're very nutritious. 2 of these is a substantial punch of protein, packed with nutrients. There's some carbs with the oats and the banana. So it's a great, quick, on-the-go breakfast. You would need to take it in some kind of little mini Tupperware or something so it doesn't spill everywhere, or maybe wrap them in a wee bit of foil or cling film or something. But it's a very budget-friendly, on-the-go, snacky, breakfasty thing. And they keep well in the fridge. You could freeze them if they last that long. I think this has moved again. I'm going to try the soup again in a minute once it cools down, but also just to say, I will leave a bit at the end of the video where I show you the price per meal and break down the ingredient costs. So I hope you find that helpful. I hope you can find lots of great bargains out there as well, because it really makes a difference with budgeting for meals and planning ahead with meal planning, but also kind of more spontaneous money saving meals. And then it means if you've got frozen meals that you were planning to have, you can just adapt your menu and just postpone using your freezer meals if you find a real bargain that's too good to be true. So, or not too good to be true, because it is true, but it could feel almost too good to be true. So with me, with the soup, it means I'm not going to have to defrost as many meals, so it'll make my food I already have stretch a lot further for me, which is good, because I'll get 5 dinners out of that soup and I'll get 4 breakfasts out of these cookies. So it's definitely an effective way to save a bit of money. Ready to try again. It's lovely. It's just a simple vegetable soup, but very tasty. I think I'll add a little bit of salt. I only used 1.5 stock cubes, and for the amount of portions, it's not really salty enough for me. I did want to cut back on the salt and see how that went, but it's one of these things you can season to taste. But it's a nice balance of flavours with the onion and the garlic, gives it good flavour, some addition, plus all those nutritious vegetables. You really can't go wrong. Great value for money, as I say. I'm experiencing slidey camera syndrome here, right there. Hopefully that will stay put now. So thanks very much for watching today. It's been really lovely to share these kind of spontaneous meals out of seeing some amazing yellow price items with you. And as I say, I'm going to share some info about price per meal in a second. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks very much again. See you soon. Next time will be Thrifty Tuesday, so I'll see you then. Best wishes. Bye.